Rural Arkansas is becoming increasingly rural at a really significant arresting pace, and the implications are really profound for the delivery of basic services, education, crime prevention, environmental, etc. What should be the federal government's role in addressing these problems that they seem likely to mount for the Arkansas countryside?
Steve, they are going to mount, and the reason being is that if you look at Arkansas, I believe 52 of our 75 counties lost population. You start losing population, you lose those turnback dollars, you already don't have much to begin with, and you just dig yourself in deeper. And that's why we mentioned agriculture. That's the thing that is so very important. Again, 85–90% of the economy. But it's not just agriculture, it's rural schools, it's rural hospitals, protecting them. You lose your school, you lose your community. The same is true again of the rural hospitals. One of the things that we've worked on very hard, there's a lot of money in the system, again, in a very bipartisan way, is providing broadband. Making sure that they're able to access that. We used to think in terms of the 3 R's, roads, railroads, and runways. If you're not wired, you're not going to grow.
Mr. Cates.
Yes, sir. They're leaving the state because there's no opportunity. We need to lower taxes, get businesses to come back in the state, create jobs. That's what will get people here. Thank you.
Ms. James.
All right, we're going to elaborate on that lowering taxes. We need to make sure we're lowering taxes for the actual citizens, so that way they can stay in state. In our rural areas, we are seeing a sharp decline in everybody leaving, but that's because the job opportunities aren't there and those jobs have been removed. Now, we want to make sure that in rural areas, they're not having to share hospitals. Last time I checked, in multiple counties, they have to share one hospital. That's not a conducive living environment, or having to be Port Omeg, or having to drive 100 miles to have a baby, or having to drive 100 miles just in case you feel that something's wrong with your heart. They shouldn't have those types of crises to deal with on top of being in the rural area. So federally, I feel that if we can address some of those issues and help with the environment, help with what's going on in the rural area, we would do a lot better in keeping our actual citizens there and well taken care of, because right now, majority of the state is not taken care of, especially in the Delta, and it's unfortunate, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to do more federally to better protect all citizens in Arkansas.
Oh, Mr. Bozeman, another 30.
Well, we've got some real challenges throughout the state, throughout rural Arkansas. The average age of our farmers is 60. 40% of the healthcare providers in Arkansas are over 60. Young people are getting married at a much later age. Because of that, they're having fewer children. So again, the population is not there to backfill. And so as a result, we need to work as a group, the state working with the federal government, working with our local governments. We need to make sure that schools aren't disallowed because they've gone 5 students too low and you lose your rural school.
30 seconds for Mr. Cate.
No rebuttal, sir.
Oh, Ms. James.
All right, so our schools are running low, and that's correct, and we should not be closing them, and we should not be allowing our states to raise the actual how many children, to go from 300 to 750 minimum requirement for schools. Also, people aren't getting married because, well, let's get back to our platform, living wages. If you don't have living wages to sustain your household, what incentivizes you to get married? If you know that you're not going to have a job in your hometown, what incentivizes you to stay there? We have to do multiple incentives to keep people in the rural area and make sure they have a living adequate wage so that they can stay in that area and be better protected and feel safe.